Okay, so taking a look at our last one here, we have the 30-inch row spacing at 90,000 plant population. So again, the first thing we're going to do is take a look at the branches. We do have some decent looking pods forming on this branch. However, we have very few branches here and really just a low amount of the plant surface area and branches. We have these kind of these two miniature branches here. Again, we have 4 pods here and 2 pods here. I'm not going to count this little guy. So we only have about six beans or 6 pods going onto the branches, so a fairly low amount. Get our next little bit of measurement and our height. We're looking at 2 feet 6 inches. So this has been our tallest one of our 90,000 plant population. So again, when we talk about that inter-row competition or the higher amount of competition between soybeans within that singular planter row, we are seeing it increase our height by about 2 inches. So we do see a larger plant, a good high amount of vegetation material or vegetated material up top here, and actually in the field you can really tell the difference in some of these things, and hopefully that'll come across here in the next video segment. But we do see that these are a little bit taller comparatively in field. And when we take a look at the beans, we are getting a good amount of beans. We are wanting to put on at least 2, if not 3, really good looking pods per node. And in Oklahoma, this time of year with the summer, we've kind of had that really hot and dry July. Being able to consistently have 2 to 3 decent to really good looking pods that are actively filling a bean is really good. So if you kind of walk backwards and you go, if we get 2 to 3 beans per pod, so let's say we have 3 good looking beans per pod like this one has, and we have about 20 nodes, which is what we'll average here in the state of Oklahoma. That's 60 total pods per plant. That's pretty good. We typically put on a high amount of flowers and early pods, and depending on environmental conditions, we abort those. That way we can put all of our resources into these really good pods. I know most growers around the state would like to see a little bit closer to 100 pods, and if we had a summer that we had more consistent rainfalls and a little bit cooler conditions, that really that late August 100-degree weather really took its toll on these. But comparatively, I would say that these probably are kind of towards the better end of what we've seen here today. Good amount of pods, good amount of filling. I'm not really seeing or feeling really too many aborted seeds within the individual pods. So we are filling this quite a bit. This plant's probably taking up a good amount of resources, a fair amount of resources, both moisture right now and a lot of sunlight still being developed here with this plant. So good yield potential, good amount of pods. We're having good 2 to 3 bean pods. Not really seeing any 4 bean pods, but that's okay. We really like to live in that 3 bean pod area, and 2 to 3 pods per node is a really good place for us to be. So a really good looking plant, have some really good looking potential here.